You are now tuned in to the REI Next Door show where we're going to talk about the beginner real estate investor ups and downs. Maybe you're trying to get into real estate. Maybe you've gotten in, done a few deals. Maybe you've been doing it for a little bit. And it's like, man, you're going to go through ups and downs. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the ups and downs. How do you get through the ups and downs? What steps you could take to help you continue to go. How do you kind of know when it is to pivot, move different directions? And we'll talk about our own ups and downs. So stay right here. If you're looking to get started, you can ask your questions. We'll respond to you, give you the answers. You're talking about two real dudes that's doing this full time. I was a teacher, left my profession and started doing real estate investing full time. And Cordero, he just been ever since he was a puppy, he just been doing this thing full time. That's how he get down.
Byron's capping, man. I actually was I was a rapper before I got into this, and not just playing.
What he said? Hey, he said, ever since I can remember, I've been popping my collar. You don't even know about that. You don't know nothing about that. Do what?
I said, shout out to Memphis, man. Shout out to the M. To all my viewers in the M. But yeah, man, I think he said we're two real people. I'm a regular guy. Byron,
nah, dude.
On the other hand, y'all know how Byron get down, man. But before we get started, hold the smoke. Byron might have let y'all know yesterday, but it was Byron's birthday not too long ago. So if you haven't already, please wish Byron a happy birthday. I think he just had a birthday. What was it? Monday? It was Monday?
I think it was Monday, actually.
It was Monday. I think Byron just turned 23 years old, y'all. Just go,
get out of here, man.
Happy belated, man. And how'd it feel to be a millionaire before the age of 25, man?
Man, stop it. 25, man. Woo, I was so broke. Good Lord, I was a teacher.
Everybody was broke at 25, unless you was one of these.
No, not everybody. Cordero was too clean to be broke at 25, dude. Bobby Mack, what's up, man? What's going on, Bobby Mack, man? Welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the show from Austin, Texas. I'm pretty sure Bobby Mack out there in the is it Lone Star State? Out there with Jerry Jones and the boys. Out there with Kyrie and the boys. Luca, baby. But
it's going Bobby Mack.
Man. Bobby Mack, what's up? But yeah, man. Speaking of getting started at a young age, there's a lot of people that's trying to get started in this wholesale real estate space at a young age. Like, what would you tell somebody that's young? They probably, how you is. You get out of high school, you don't know what you want to do, but you're trying to make some money. Like, what would you tell somebody? And before you go on that, AOB Patty, what's up from Ohio? What's going on, man? My guy on IG. But yeah, what would you tell a young dude don't really know what he want to do, been started, they scrolling, they see wholesale real estate, and it's like, okay, I want to get into this.
Yeah.
How do I get started? What do I do? That kind of deal. And the struggles of trying to get started, it's one thing to do a deal, but there's struggles before you even get to that. Like, what would you say to somebody that's going through that?
There's struggles after that first deal. You know what I'm saying? Because some people first deal be $90K. Some people first deal be $2,500, and that's not life-changing money. And so there are struggles either way. But for a young dude, and I was talking about this with some other young dudes not too long ago, one of the biggest things I could say is, first of all, get rid of doubt in all of this. So do whatever you got to do to get rid of doubt, because doubt is something that's going to creep in whether you 19 or you 49 years old and you're trying to start something new. But I think a lot of times when you're younger, you ain't really done a lot at all to prove to yourself that you're capable of accomplishing anything. So you got to get rid of doubt. And the second thing I would say is, a lot of cats get into this especially younger dudes, we get into it thinking, I'm going to be the one, I got to make it happen. And I'm going to do everything by myself. And what you don't realize is, even we are probably guilty of it sometimes, is not explaining, is we are a team. We have a
Yeah,
team, right?
for sure.
All great things that happen tend to come about from the product of a collective, a team, and teamwork. Your favorite basketball team, even solo sports like UFC or boxing or fighting, there's trainers, there's uh, uh, people who get the nutrition together, people who plan out the sleep schedule and all of that stuff. It's just like you're there's always a team behind great stuff. And so what I would say is, if you're a young dude getting started, or anybody, is find somebody in your local area or in the market that you want to start working in, and team up with them and start working with them, so you can work to learn and you can earn money at the same time, as opposed
Yeah,
to just getting started on your own. You can watch YouTube and you can do all of this. You can certainly jump on our lives and we'll help you, but you want to make sure that something can fill in that gray area for you. Because
yeah,
honestly, there's going to be a lot of gray area. We don't, even while we trying to teach you or train you, we don't know what we don't know, or we don't know what we do know that we're leaving out. And I
yeah. That
always
we're unaware of, right?
Exactly. I always give the example. It could be something like this. I could be like Byron has kids. I could like, hey Byron, like, what's it like? He like, what's a day in the life of being a father? Well, you gotta get up, get the kids ready for school, take them to the school. I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. What does get the kids ready for school mean? In his
Yeah,
mind, he's going through the motions in his head. He knows what get the kids ready for school means. But in my mind, I'm completely void in that regard. So
yeah,
he doesn't know that he needs to explain, well, first of all, you got to go to each individual kid's bedroom,
yeah,
make sure they up, get them ready. If they close later, whatever you got to do, make sure their lunch is packed or this and that and so on and so forth. He could tell you better than I could. But that's my point. When you team up with somebody, you work to learn, not just to earn. You team up with somebody, they're going to fill in all of those blanks, and you get a hands-on experience of the process, right? And you're also learning a valuable thing, is how to add value to other people in a way that it will return unto you at some point. It's not adding value to other people is not about what you get out of it. If you're really trying to add value to people
yeah, for
in the
sure.
true essence of giving and doing, but when you
Hey,
master and do it well, it will come back to you.
no doubt, man. No doubt. You're 100% right on that. And speaking of value, we got a big dog, Keithon, coming in on IG, man. Keithon is
Speaking of
man.
value,
You talk about value, man. Woo, woo. He might be Mr. Value, dude.
Mr.
Hey,
Value, Mr. Value, and
Keithon
look,
at Walmart, great value.
no, no, no. That's what I was about to say. We ain't talking about the
Hey,
great. We
great
ain't talking about
value.
the value menu. No, 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 no. This top of the line. When they talk about value in that regards, that's a euphemism for saying affordable. No, Keithon ain't low quality value. We talking about real Louis Vuitton type value. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
Keithon go come with it, dog. Keithon
come
coming with
with
it,
it.
man. I'm telling you.
Hey,
And
the CEO checking in, man. CEO, we still waiting for you to hit me up, man. We trying to throw you in this mastermind this Sunday, man. Hit me up. Let's see
yeah,
what you talking about, man. You talking about doing these deals. Seem like you're real cool, man. Let's get you in this mastermind this Sunday and chop it up. He
he
said,
put
how
the
long have
box.
you been doing flips? I started doing flips when the wholesale bottom fell out. And what was that? When did the bottom fall out, Keith?
$22.
Cordero 22? Yeah.
You started
That when I
doing
started
flips
doing
in
flips.
22. The bottom
Yeah,
fell out.
22.
We got
Man, bottom fell out, dude. The bottom fell out, and I'm like, man, that thing was rough, dude. I
call it
had,
like,
man, I probably had like 7 deals on the contract or something like that, and I think 3 of them might have went through, and then the other 4 jokers backed out,
I
gone.
forgot. I actually was doing. I had 2 flips in Franklin that I was working on, and the market completely fell out on me. Terrible. I got my money back. I didn't make a dime. I got my money
Yeah,
back out of it.
dude,
Yeah, I
dude.
forgot about that. I try to put, you try to put trauma away. You try to tuck trauma up under the carpet. You don't want
Uh, man, it was
to.
crazy. Like I said, the only thing that really saved me was the fact I had a trucking business. You know what I'm saying? I had a trucking business going and it was pumping out money. You know what I'm saying? Trucking business basically prints money. Now the speed of that money and the volume of that money is not like real estate, but it's like it's a thing that you continue to print every day is gonna print the money. You know what I'm saying? Like it
Hey
ain't
man,
gonna stop.
I
There's
just
no
hit
gap.
I just hit somebody with this on IG. I saw the truckers, they be why they got the little inside jokes and stuff like that. I don't be getting them, but somebody dude said when the dispatch asked if you want to take a load X amount of miles for $850, and he was just like, no, I'm not about to do that. I was like, you know what? I just realized truck drivers are high end Door Dashers. Really,
Yeah,
that's what
you are stupid, man.
truck driver
Hey,
and DoorDash, they be like, "You want to pick up this load?" No, I don't want to take that order. I don't want to take that order. I might highlight that order right there. Except for
yeah,
it's cross country, it's major
cross
goods. We
country.
talking thousands of dollars.
Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. So,
And
yeah,
they
man,
don't get no tips, do they?
do what that?
They don't get truck drivers don't get no tips, do they? They'll never show up at the spot at a Walmart or something like that.
No, 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 dude. But dude, man, the trucks really helped me out.
Yeah.
Because man, I mean, real estate was wholesaling was I wouldn't say dead, but I mean, shoot, that
It,
dude was on the what were you on the respirator or something like that? Dude, it
it
was on life support.
it was certainly on life support. It was on life support for sure.
Dude, I couldn't imagine being a dude that was like nationwide and was just doing crazy stuff. Man, even RJ Bates talk about how he was like, dude, we finna have to all go get some jobs out this thing. So it
Man.
was crazy, man. But like I said, the trucks came through, held me down, and then I realized, like, okay, this deal right here, I got it, and I can't wholesale it to like any big buyers, and even some of the flippers was like, nah, I'm not doing that. But I could clearly see it was a deal. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? Like somebody could flip this and make money. So that's when I was like, man, I gotta, convince somebody to take this deal and try to help me figure out how to flip. So that's how I got in, man. Back in 22, I say back in. It felt like it was just right around the corner, but
Hey, time is moving
22, I started flipping.
time is moving forward with speed. But yeah, that's certainly if we're talking about ups and downs, that was certainly a rough time then, and you just kind of text me and I text you back. Yeah,
Boom. Hit me up, CEO. My number going across the bottom of the screen. Hit me up. Cass, dude, we gotta have you in the mastermind, Cass, man. Don't make me come out there to Cali, dude. Cass, don't
dude.
make me come out there to Cali. We got to have you, man. We
Man, I
got to
feel
have
like I feel like Cass was doing deals in 20. I feel like there was
dude.
a time when we
Cass
was like,
crushing it, dude.
no, I'm talking about when there was a time, maybe it was 2023. I feel like there was a time where we was trying to figure some stuff out. I know I was trying to figure some stuff out, and Cass was like, "Hey, man, I'll just close a 59 piece." I'm like, "Man,
Exactly. Hey,
Cass."
Cass like Keith low key, man. Cass like Keith low key.
Yeah,
That just be having some stuff up his sleeve. Hey
Cass.
man, I'm connected to some good people though, for real. Like Cass put me on some stuff. I had Cass put me on some stuff. Keith put me on some stuff. Mark, like I'm surrounded by some good dudes, man. I got the cleaner of the cleanest. Cordero keeping me sharp. He always taking me and got to sharpen me on this side. He turned me to this side, sharpen me up on this side. Hey man, you're a little dull over here, sharpen me up on that. You know, he's sharpening me up. So, dude, I got some good dudes, man. But hey, we trying to get everybody together. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, bring these great minds together and learn from each other. And it's like, man, you doing this, you doing this. Help each other out up here and advance each other. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we're trying to do, man. Hit me up, man. Hit me up. Send me the info in time. I'll be there, dude. 7 o'clock Sunday.
Sunday.
7 on Sunday.
Whoa, whoa,
Text
whoa.
me right here.
Cass is in California, dude. See, I'm saying?
7 Eastern Standard Time for y'all people that's not on the most important time zone.
come on, man. Come on, cut it out. Cut it out. Y'all just y'all just early to everything. And you
Yeah, no
Cash
doubt,
is
man.
eating breakfast right now. Cash, shout out. I wonder what cereal. Let us know what you eating for breakfast right now, dude.
It's
So what Cash and Cali, but we really appreciate having you on to share and we exchanging value. You know what I'm saying?
no
Um,
doubt.
it's a give and take. You know what I'm saying? We trying to make sure everybody got a little something, something. So please join if you guys are interested in joining. If you really doing deals, if you really putting that work in and you seeing it, because that's one thing I know too. 2022, 2023 was what it was. But regardless of that, the winners are winning. The dogs is eating. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't even I don't even want to try to sound like an elitist or anything of that nature. But there are some people who just kind of made up their minds that, yeah, I understand that the market's going to do what it's going to do, but I intend to be successful regardless. So when things change, when things sway, they don't get out or leave. They say, how can I figure it out? How can we fix the plane in the air while we're flying in the air? That's what. And I noticed that I know a lot. I mean, I know Cass because again, he's been sharing a lot of his info here on the lives. Certainly Byron and Keaton and guys like that. And so we fully intend to continue to keep going, and that's really what we get. We get to share what week to week what it's like in this mastermind. Hey, what have you noticed? What's working? And dude, we get some crazy value, some
Yeah, no
crazy
doubt,
value
man. And
from those.
yeah, for sure. And to add to that, like when it was 2022 and like shoot, my plane was wobbling like crazy. I'm like, I'm wobbling all over the place. Uh Man, there was other real estate investors that I was able to talk to, the Keathons of the world, the other people like that, that I could hit up and talk to them. And they kind of talked me through, okay, do this, try this, if this don't work, do that. Carithas, hitting them up and talking to people. Like that really is gonna help you through, downtimes and then help you capitalize when it's up. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that's big stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? That's why I'm trying to get people in the same place, talk to each other, hear each other out, listen to each other. Like I said, like you could be sitting there like Ty was on the call the other day. It's like you sitting there the whole time. Ty's like, it was one thing that was said that I was able to take and it's gonna push me forward. You know what I'm saying? So dude, trust me, man. You get in here with these people that's out here doing deals, and you doing deals, and you look like, oh shoot, I didn't even think to do that. You know what I'm saying? Or you thought to do that. I'm thinking to do this, but
Yeah,
that person is already doing it, and they proven to me that that works.
yeah.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
that's one of the most slept on things I think people don't talk about is just like getting confirmation from an idea. Even talking back to the new guys who was just like it's your first deal. It's like a lot of the new guys. We live in the age of information. It's so many different options. What I call, and you've probably heard it before, shiny objects, especially in real estate. You could be flipping, you could wholesale, you could be a real estate agent, you could be doing commercial, trailer parks, you could be doing sub two. And the new guys tend to come to us and they're like, dude, you doing the novation? It's like, let me guess. You just watching the latest YouTube videos and that content. But you get all this information and they don't know. I got a lot of the information already, but what information should I sink my teeth into? What information should I really take and take my first step on or my next step or continue to press harder in? And what should I let go? When you see somebody, it's a confirmation. It's just like, it's not that I don't have options. It's actually I got too many options. And
Yeah.
so I know what to do. I just need to know which one is probably the best for me. And confirmation, we get a lot of that from the mastermind. But just in general, because the live is talking about ups and downs and how to navigate that. Your team, that's equally, I'm a firm believer. I'm a believer of the word in the scriptures. The Bible says to seek counsel. It's important. You have to be able to trust your counsel. Everybody, it's your responsibility, especially as entrepreneurs, to develop a sound counsel. You don't want to just be like, man, just because my mama and daddy as my mama and daddy, I'm asking them real estate advice and they work a 9 to 5 all their life. That's not how that works. But getting into a mastermind or getting around like-minded people or people who can add value, who's also in this business, that becomes a part of your team. Just as important as the title company you're going to use, as if you got a transactional coordinator that you're using, a dispositions officer, the VAs that you bring on your team, just as important as your, if you flipping properties, your contractor, the real estate agents that you work with, the people that you learn from and sharpen your sword with, and you like master your mind with, that's a part of your team. So you want to make sure you have a strong one. So that's why we say if you doing deals, then come to death row. You know what I'm saying? You tired of producing.
You are stupid.
But they really will. We get a lot of confirmation on what should I thought I was thinking that, and he's like, oh, Mark been doing it. Mark just made a lot of money off that, or Byron just
Exactly.
you know what I'm saying? Or it'd be stuff like, I didn't even have that idea. I was nowhere near thinking that, get Deal Machine and go drive for dollars, and Caretha done made, I don't know, tons.
Exactly. Or like, I don't know, man. And then some people can logically break down what you're doing and why it works and why it don't work. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was talking to Mark, and Mark was like, okay, how many leads you get? 20 leads. Okay. If it takes 10 to 15 leads to get a deal, how many possible deals is even in your, is a possibility? It's like at the most you get two deals at the max. It's like, dude, that's why. Like, you need to do, in order to do more, you need more lead. On average, you just not getting the numbers. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it was the same thing when I was texting people. Like, I remember texting people, and I was texting like, well, I take maybe 2,000 people a day. Thought maybe I was doing something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was like, dude, you're not texting enough people. Oh shoot! I was listening to somebody. They was like, man, we texted 20,000 people, and we doing 6 figures. It's like, oh shoot, I need to text more people. I'll go to keep everything, and it's like, dude, they just contacted more people. That's it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, and then I leave there, and I just go crazy contacting more people, and next thing you know, boom, it go crazy. You know what I'm saying? So, just like I said, somebody being there to look at what you're doing, to hear what you're doing, and even walking you through your own thoughts and walking you through what you're doing and saying, hey, look, okay, logically, if you're doing this, you know what I'm saying, this is the result. What happens if you turn up the fire? And I got Mark. Like, remember Mark said he was spending like Mark was not spending what he's spending now. He was not getting the amount of leads that he was getting now.
Yeah.
I wasn't even doing PPL, and I told Mark, you got to turn up the heat. Like, I was telling Mark that, like, Mark wasn't spending that much money. Now, remember, he came in and said he was spending 3. What did he say he was spending now?
Like 7, 8, something exactly.
Like that. He did more than doubled his marketing, and we see what it's doing for him. You see what I'm saying? It's like, I told him, and then he turned around and told me. It's like, you know what I'm saying? As investors, man, we have to be sharpened by each other. It's like, dude, sometimes you're not going in the right direction. That other person is like, hey, look, hey, back over here, dude. Look, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, I think that's just interesting, man, that I was like, when Mark told me, I wasn't even doing PPL. I'm like, dude, if you made this over this time and you spent this much money, you need to spend more. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, man, jump in if you're doing deals. Hey, Cass, text me now, man. I know you just getting up, getting ready to eat your breakfast, but shoot me a text, man. Shoot me a text.
Yeah, for sure, man. And it really is like that. You learn a couple principles. And also, that's another thing, just another nuance that I want to point out that kind of runs like underneath the surface is the fact that also with being in groups like this, there are a couple of just basic principles that we all establish as this is a truth. Like, we don't just debate this. If you go get into one of the little, like, let's say you a brand new person, they say get in the Facebook groups. They'll be in there debating simple stuff that, like, the big time dudes just like, we know that don't make sense, right? For example, like, we all know the more leads equal the more contacts equal contracts. That's a basic principle. We don't debate it. We don't argue with it. Our questions are like, how do we get the most contacts? What direction should we go in? Should we do outreach contacts or inbound contacts, PPL contacts or cold call contacts, or dollar for dollar? But we never debate, do we need more contacts or not? We all know that. But if you get, and it's probably been a long time since Byron has even dealt with this, but I know for some of the newer guys, they'll be like, well, dog, I don't even know. Maybe it's not more contacts. Maybe I just need to get the right systems in place. Maybe I need
the secret bullet,
it's
list.
a secret list that I need. It's not more. I don't need to call more people. I just need a better list. It's like, dude, no, it's not. I don't. I need to make sure. Listen, I heard an REI reply. What's that one thing that got like everything in one, where you can text?
Yeah, REI reply. Yeah.
I heard an REI reply. That's it. I gotta get that. It's not more no, Byron. It's not more contacts that I need. I need REI reply. That's what I need, right? I need to get it set up. I need to spend time. No. So that's another thing, value that you get. It's just like we get to build on our current understanding. It's just like I think we all kind of in the direction of just the value of PPL right now. Like that's a wave. I think that's a very important thing. But again, like there's some basic principles are contacts equal contracts. We'll never debate that. We'll never dispute that. We all know that because that we're in this business, we're doing it, right? And another point that I want to mention is when, for example, if you become a real estate agent, I just finished taking my test to become a licensed realtor in the state of Tennessee. So I'll be looking at some brokerages and stuff like that. You know, just a little something to add to
big
the
time,
business.
man. A little something.
But one thing I noticed is you get the license and then they got continued education. Now, the education isn't necessarily just about, it could be whatever. I think you got to have a certain amount of core education and then, you know, some certain CE approved education that you can take. But it's continued education. A lot of times it's about the laws or just other things that improve your skill set as a licensed real estate agent or affiliate broker. We don't have that as wholesalers, as investors, as flippers, as landlords. There is no minimum or requirement of continued education or education at all. And so you have to take that upon yourself. If it's necessary for them, bless you. If they have determined that it's necessary for a licensed real estate agent or even a licensed nurse practitioner or a doctor, it's just like they continue their education, right? It's something very important that they got to constantly be doing to be good at it. An accountant, so on and so forth. Then as entrepreneurs, as real estate investors, why would it not be likewise important for you to continue your education? And so you got to think of that. And there's levels to this. If you're a newer guy, then just soaking up the basics and the fundamentals can take you a long way. You got to get there, but you got to understand that. But some guys been doing it, and the market changed, and you was kind of you had some momentum, but the market shifted, and you can't figure it out. You beating your head up against the wall, and the difference between you exiting or continuing on is going to be getting with the right people that's going to help sharpen your mind and put you on that right path and say, hey, dog, so what's happening, man? I'm still texting people, man. A word? Have you tried PPL? No. Well, I ain't saying text message. I am not by any means saying text message don't work. But how much you spending on text message? Well, I'm spending like $8,000 a month. I'm trying to text 50,000 people. Dang. Well, what if you spent $8,000 on PPL? You know what I mean? What would that do for you? And I'm just giving an example of what it would look like to one small shift to change a person's results that they get in the business, let alone their outlook. So, you know, we talk, if you're doing deals, definitely consider joining the mastermind. We here. But you know, I think Byron's even coming out with a course for some of the newer guys, which will be very beneficial, or updated course or something like that. You know how you get down.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So by Max say I'm trying for that first deal, and then I'll invest heavily in the PPL. Yeah, man, but just invest heavily in whatever gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes job for dollar work. Sometimes, cold calling. Maybe the probate list works. It definitely works, but it's like it just depends on whatever works for you. You know what I'm saying? It depends on whatever works for you. So that's what I would say, man. Always double down on whatever is working. So Bobby DT Seller, deal machine cool, but you gonna eat up tons of time cold calling lists. You're gonna put VAs on that and outsource it. Yeah, I would say if you're gonna put VAs on it and outsource it, that's gonna be tough. Especially these days, man. Especially getting started. You know what I'm saying? It's like if
Yeah.
I'm trying to get started and you trying to put VAs on and outsource, that's gonna be tough, man. You know what I'm saying? So he says, "Is Deal Machine better if you have a budget, but nothing close to 3 to 7K to put into PPL?"
You don't need 3 to 7K. By the way, you
You
don't
you
need
don't need that.
7K for PPL.
Mm.
And you don't need it all at once. I mean, I'm just saying, it's just like a PPL lead on average is anywhere from $100 to $200-300 for one lead.
Well,
That
you
might.
can determine what you're gonna bid too. That's another
I'm
thing.
talking
You know what
about.
I'm saying?
I'm talking about across
Yeah, in
all
general. Yeah,
platforms.
yeah, yeah. Just in
What
general.
you're liable to pay, depending on the county, and on average, because they're $100 to $300. There's some as low as 75, and there's some as high as 550 in some major
700 if you want to go to Tennessee.
You know what I'm saying? In some major areas, I don't know what it's like in New York either. You know what I mean? Tennessee is pretty expensive, but
Yeah,
New
for
York.
sure, for sure.
So, but my point with that is being when we talk about how it takes on average 10 to 15 of those to get to your deal, it could be the first one. You know what I'm saying? It could be the first one. I think for Byron, it was the
Dude,
first. That's why he
my
believes.
lucky self, man, my blessed self gonna get a deal
Yeah,
on the very first one, 20K. Boom.
you know what I mean. I mean, and also too. I mean, Byron again. He had a team. He has resources to capitalize on that deal, to look at it from different
Call that
angles.
person immediately. That's what I'm saying. We
He
did
has.
all the stuff that we needed to do. You know what I'm saying? All the best practices, calling people immediately, continuing to follow up with people, all the negotiation stuff. We have buyers lined up in that particular area. You know what I'm saying? All the stuff
Yes,
that
sir.
we talk about, the
Yeah.
basics, the bases are covered. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, have a buyer in that area, call that person immediately, follow through, talking to sellers like Cordero's talked about on this show for months. And then, the rest of it, let the chips fall, man.
But again, that's like back to the original point. That's like saying, well, first you got to get the kids ready for school and then take them to school. It's just like, okay, what does all that mean? And that's why I say, if you're getting started and trying to get to that, connecting with people who have the resources, right? Connecting with somebody in your market or in other markets, or just people who's willing to help, that can um, make the gray areas not so gray anymore. And then when you go spend that money and start buying these PPL leads and they come in, now you know exactly what to do and you capitalize. And maybe depending on how you got it set up, we got some people reaching out to us and say, hey, if you help me get to, I'll spend the money on the leads. You help me close them and really do what I'm supposed to do and teach me, then we could go 50-50 or whatever they're doing on it, whatever they decide to do. But the most important thing is that we helping eliminate the gray area there. And so if it's trying to get to your first deal, then it's certainly about connecting with the right people. I think that's going to make the difference because we can only explain so much. And you know what? You can go back. You can get you a college degree if you go back and watch our some of these lives. You know what I'm saying? If you go watch all of them, you can at least be as rich as Byron. You know what I mean? Or me. I
Dude.
don't know if you get the Byron's. I don't know if you get the Byron's level just that quick. You know what I'm saying? Byron. I don't know what it is. I don't know what you got to do to get to a gold toilet. You know what I'm saying? In the house with heated
Man, you
marble.
wild. Hey,
The
hey,
man
ask
need
your
to
boy Allen, man.
uh,
Ask your boy Allen, dude.
dude, where
Oh
Byron from?
man, dude,
Where Byron
wow, man.
Some of these sellers are wild, and that's another thing too. Is just like getting used to talking to these people and interacting with these humans. These are human beings, man. And I don't know if you, and I was trying to tell Byron this before, man. There is no such, and I'll stand by this to this day. There's no such thing as weird because there is no such thing as normal. When I, especially from my years talking to these people, dude, I've seen some things, and people are just go
Correct.
wrap toilet, and I'm not playing. Take the wallpaper you would put on the wall, gold version, and wrap your toilet in it, and that's perfectly fine to him. What? And I've seen some wild stuff. It gets buck wild
Hey,
off of me.
not just perfectly fine. That is valuable. That is
Yeah,
valuable to him.
that actually makes me
That
better than you. It's
that's
because my
signature
toilet wrapped in
royalty.
gold. You know what I mean? My toilet wrapped in gold actually puts me on another level. With the, you know what I'm saying? So I've seen some crazy things, man. I've seen, I've seen racist sellers. You know, we live in the South. I've had sellers just flat out call me the N word and still sell me their house. You know what I mean? And I've had sellers. Oh man, listen. If you a younger dude, be careful if you going and it's an older lady and it's an older single lady. Don't go off in that house by yourself, man. She gonna try to, you know what I'm saying?
You
Make sure y'all
stupid
standing out
dude.
in the front yard. Offer you some food. I'm telling you, she gonna try to offer you some food, man, and start telling you about her life. And you know what I'm saying? Next thing you know, you trying to sell a house. Now you got a girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? And you don't know what
You
to
are
do.
stupid, dude. You are dumb.
Seeing some crazy stuff. But learning to interact with people, that comes with time. You know what I mean? So it's beneficial. Navigating the ups. My only point with all of
Yeah.
this is navigating the ups and downs becomes a lot more manageable. Hey, the CEO is wild. The
What are you talking about?
CEO is wild, bro. He wild. He caught me off guard. I don't have to turn the comments.
The wholesale cheese, dude. Dude, you wild, man.
Hey,
Dude,
I didn't get
wild,
that.
dude.
I got morals. I didn't get that deal. I just want to let that. I want to let the record straight. I didn't get that deal.
Dude,
You know what I mean?
dude, wild.
I have a limit. But no, I just navigating the ups and downs, the subtle nuance. There's just stuff about the business I wouldn't even know to tell somebody unless we were on the topic, like transactional coordination, like title companies. We talk all about this, but we don't talk a lot about title companies and how the difference between
Yeah,
a
for
good
sure.
quality title company and a low quality title company will actually make money or lose money for you. Byron, am I right?
For sure. Shoot, yeah, dude. I mean, I done had a lot of crazy stuff happen when it comes to title companies. Like, I had people show up title companies like, nah, they canceled that transaction. What? It was like, I done had some crazy stuff happen, man. Um, some of the crazy stuff. This got to be one of the craziest I'm going through right now with this title company. I did a 2K holdback and charging the seller $50 a day if they stay after this time. Stay after like June 1st. And man, the title company is gonna sit here and say, man, we forgot to hold 2K back. Forgot. Like, are you kidding me? Dude, that's crazy. To my they forgot. So, man,
No,
just a
that
bunch
is
of
no.
silliness, man. A bunch of silliness. It's like, man, that's crazy. And then I ain't even tell you the last thing they talking about.
It's
Like,
more. There's more.
yeah, it's. I mean, the answers just keep dumber and dumber. Like, I need to call and talk to the actual attorney because the person who working seem like they just creating something to try to get out of their mess. They ain't telling nobody. You know, uh,
Mm.
I'm like, dude. that they're like, they'll talk to the attorney to talk to ask them what I need to do to get them out of the house. Like, I don't need you to teach me how to get somebody out of the house. I need you to follow the agreement. This is what I need you to do. I
Yeah.
need you to hold the 2K, 2K. I need you to charge this man $50 for every day he stay in after this time period. That's what I need you to do. I don't need you to teach me how to get somebody out. I know how to do that.
Yeah, that's when a person doesn't fully understand the relationship that you have, and they start saying, "Okay, we need to work together to figure this out." You're like, "No, you need to figure this out. I
No.
figured it out. You need to. I'm paying you to follow orders, and you didn't. Now you talking like we
Like, yeah,
little
like
brother,
we partners right here. Like, you
like
better
we
tell
brother
me
and
how to
sister
do
need to
my
clean the
business.
mess up before mom get home. Nah, dude, you
Nah,
need to figure it
yeah, dude, you need to do your darn job, man. It's like, dude, do
out.
your job. It's like, I don't know, man. I,
And
I
I'll
don't
give
know if
you.
I've been in a situation where the attorney's office didn't do what they like. Dude,
It's
something was
happened.
written down in the agreement, and you did not. The attorney's office didn't follow
It's happened, man. And
it. Whew.
I'll say I've
And
had.
then don't try. I mean, if you don't follow it, don't. They didn't try to say, "Oh shoot, yeah, yeah." Let's make sure we follow what's in the agreement. No, 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 no. They gonna sit here and try to, like you said, let's cut. How can we easily cover this up? Not, I'm sorry. Let's take care of this right way and do it like it is in the agreement. Nah. Hey, can you rent him the house out for $500 a month?
Yeah.
No. Can you do what's in the agreement? Like, are you kidding me? Oh, my
No professional.
God, dude. Silliness, man.
No level. And honestly, look, being on the receiving end of unprofessional business teaches you a lot. And I learned this from the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People. At least the concept is all I'm always talking, I'm big on perspective. And do your best to put yourself in that person's shoes and try to see what it's like. So when it comes to the sellers, this is why I'm always, when I'm talking to the sellers, I'm trying to be the diplomatic one. I'm trying to exercise diplomacy, and there will be ups and downs throughout any given transaction. Some of them are smooth, some of them are not. Many of them are ups and downs. I'm always trying to exercise this concept of, if we make a mistake, we're at your service. Even if we don't make a mistake, the whole point is we're at your service. I want to give the exact opposite of what that title company gave to Byron. For one, I'm gonna be
Look at
professional. I'm gonna follow.
the
Hey man,
comment,
to
man.
and asked to rent it out to him for $590 a month, a third of the price of $50 a day for a month. Unreal. Yeah.
Unreal. Tell us that's a reasonable price to rent it out for. I'm not a darn landlord, man. That's the whole point of this, is to make it where he don't want to stay, not to make him comfortable.
Hey, I want to add too, Byron's kind of capping about that. He owned a lot of rental properties, man. He's like the biggest landlord.
Man, get out of here, dude. No, get out. Dude, if you watching this, get out of the property, dude.
Dude, he said, hey, listen, look, get out.
Yeah, exactly.
Get out my stuff.
Get
Get
out.
out my stuff, dude. Dang, man.
Nah, seriously though, man, because it's like, it's throwing my schedule off with my workers. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's June, so if you stay in there, for it's gonna like, I won't get to the market till later on, and like, you get to the market late, you know, it's harder to sell stuff when you,
An
yeah,
unprofessional title company will cost you money. They
yeah,
will
no
cost you
doubt.
money. They will take money or make money. I'll give you an example of a title company that makes money. So I got a title company in Tennessee. I'm always talking about, bragging about, that I like to use. They've made mistakes before. They made a mistake one time. We double closed. It was a $30,000 deal. I was partnering with some people on it, and we was doing a $30,000 deal, and we double closed, and they gave the wrong HUD to the seller, to the actual seller, and the seller ended up texting one of my partners and was just like, "I can't believe you guys made that much money on it, such and such, yada 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 yada." That was the only mistake that they ever did. Right? They made that one mistake, but here's how they could make you money. We didn't lose any money on that one. That was just a mistake. They always, first of all, I'm not spending any extra money on a transactional coordinator, and they're a little bit more expensive than the average title company, but I always get the buyer to pay it anyway. These are the people who recommend buyers to me. You know what I mean? They'll say, "Hey, this buyer's buying a lot in that area. Maybe might want to get," because they know that I'm going to bring that buyer more deals, and therefore they're going to need to close on more deals, and we all going to make money. So they've recommended buyers. This is people but also I can trust them. They're competent. So when they recommend a buyer, like, okay, if the title company that Byron's talking about, if they recommend anything, if they say, "Man, this is a good place to eat at,"
no,
this is a good vegetarian spot. I know I'm vegan. Leave me alone. You know what I'm saying? I don't even about it. And so a title company, that's what I meant by like little things that we don't even know to tell you. I ain't gonna call them necessarily gray areas, because a title company, you need one, but we don't talk about it as much. The title company is very important. The quality of the title company. How about getting a national title company if you're in a different state? How about what questions to ask a title company to vet them out, and stuff like that? Or what's some other things about the business that we don't typically talk about? Wholesaling, because I know you do a lot of flips and stuff like that we don't typically talk about from the intro to getting, like, from the lead to close deal.
Man, we typically don't talk about how all this stuff, like, it happens, but it doesn't happen in perfect order. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people is like, okay, what happens first? Then what happens second? Like, I always thought, okay, this first, this second, this third, this, you find this, and then you find that, you find that, you find that. Sometimes you got the buyer first. Sometimes you got the seller first. Sometimes you got the property under contract already before the buyer goes see it. Sometimes you don't have the property under contract before the buyer goes see it. Sometimes you negotiate with the seller up front. Sometimes you negotiate the seller after the buyer goes see the property. Sometimes it's like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, dude, you gotta roll with the punches, man. It's like there's no one. I mean, I guess you maybe can try to set it up where you do it the same way every single time, but especially when you're getting started, it's like there's no perfect way to go about doing it. There's some best practices and stuff that you can do, but sometimes it's better to just go with the punches, because sometimes you have to do what it takes to get deals done. You know what I'm saying? Even if you have a way that you do it, it's like Cordero could be talking to a seller, and he understands that seller wants and needs a certain thing at that time, and he's going to try his best to stick to what we do, but also service the seller at the same time. Perfect. So that's why you have to, err on the side of, kind of catering to what that seller kind of needs at that point, by also sticking to what you want your process to look like. You know what I'm saying?
Dude, that is a very good point, and I'm glad that that's a very good point, because and we always talk about it, and we're actually actively working on it right now for Byron's business. Is like trying to get systems and processes in order from our perspective, but also for the I call them clients, not just sellers. I call them our clients' perspectives, how they come in and what it looks like. Because I'm sure when they go to Open Door or Mark Spain or something like that, there's like, hey, do this, do this, do this. And it's in its typical order. But I know it's not always, because I know some sellers and they'll tell me where they're at in the process, even then. So at some point, the idea is to get to where it's a system and process, like an assembly line, or like McDonald's. It's like, here's, put the bun down, then the patty, then the pickles, etc. But you're erring on the side of service, and you want to be in that service mindset. And to Byron's point, is you want to do what it takes for the seller, but just for the deal, the transaction as a whole, right? So what that can also mean too is it's requiring you to do multiple things at one time. If we talk about getting started from nothing, then the guys who like, oh man, we always talk about getting your buyers first and then start look. You can be looking for deals and getting buyers at the same time.
Yeah.
I think the point of getting the buyers first is so that you know what deals to look for. And if
Yeah.
you
And you have
completely,
somebody in place.
yeah, to have some, that's the most important thing is to have somebody in place. So that way, once you get something, you can send it over to them. And if it's real, then you can actually tell the seller, hey, I work with investors to are buying property. But I'm talking about just even if you're talking about if you want to cold call, if you want to pull the list, if you want to do PPL, what counties do I sign up to? I don't even know because I don't know where. What if I get a buyer and I'm in some place like Douglas, Georgia, or
Yeah.
Bell Buckle, Tennessee, and I'm like,
Bell
this ain't
buck,
popular.
baby.
You know what I'm saying? And so you might you want to have the buyer to make sure that they can point you in the right direction. Also, that's another person who fills in the gaps for you. That's another reason why we talk about doing that. But you might want to say, dude, I know I'm in a good city. I'm gonna get started looking for deals and calling buyers. Like I work 9 to 5, I get off and I'm gonna drive for dollars for about an hour, then head to the house, and then I'm gonna start calling up buyers. You might do a lot of things. It's not like one consistent order to Byron's point, but it's all about servicing. That's why
Yeah.
we also recommend the 10x rule, because the 10x rule is talking about then it got a very, I think one of my favorite lines where you start instigating things to happen instead of saying like, man, I hope I'm waiting for something to come to me, or things have to come in this order, or they have to be this way, or whatever. You start instigating things and you start just making like, I'm gonna put myself out there. I don't know what's gonna come first, the chicken or the egg, but I'm just putting myself in position. I want to be in the right place all the time. That stuff comes to us. But yeah, that's an excellent point, Byron. We don't know what's gonna come. We just try to be of service to the deal because sometimes we got to be more accommodating for the buyer as
Yeah.
well as the. You see what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like the buyer is just like, I definitely be interested in this property. But I can't look at it. Can you go send me pictures first? Can you get me pictures over first? Because I got a lot of stuff I'm going on, so I need to vet it. They got their own process by
Yeah.
which you submit deals to them. If the buyer's a hedge fund company, they got their own needs. So it's just like a finding of me. You're at service to the deal at large, and things come how they come.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So the CEO said, number one, do you do assignments? Do you do blind HUDs? How many investors do you deal with every month? What I'm asking new title companies, interview them. Yeah, no doubt, man. Definitely call, do your due diligence, and ask them, do they do it? Just be straight up with them, because like a lot of times we think about attorneys' office, we think that they're so much higher than we are. They're attorneys, da 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 da. Nah, dude. Like they are working for you. You
Dude,
know,
I have this.
you are paying them.
Take this principle with you, and this is always going to be true. If you're paying somebody, they work for you. It don't matter. You are footing the bill in any way, shape, form, or fashion. They work for you. Don't. That's the principle because it gets tricky sometimes, especially with the title companies. You could think that I need to do what they say, and they told me to do something. You get that feeling, but remind me. Hold on, wait. Actually, the money that y'all getting is coming out of my pocket. So
Exactly.
y'all are getting paid to do a service, and you are replaceable. If your service isn't,
Even if it's coming out of somebody else's pocket, it's like
it's
you
coming out of
brought
your
this.
pocket.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but
I know what
you
you mean.
brought this to them. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? You are providing them with what do you call it, Cordero? Business.
yeah.
You are providing them with, even if you come and somebody else paying all the closing costs, they paying all of this, they paying all of that. You brought all this to them. You know what I'm saying? So,
Without
it's their job to get this done. You know what I'm saying?
exactly. And so that rule of print, I'm talking about that goes for your whole life. Like, don't go if you're a young dude and you taking your first car to go get an oil change and the mechanic acting funny, he not answering the questions. Dude, I'm paying you. Don't get it twisted. I am paying you for this. If I ask you a question, answer it. Don't act like, you know what I'm saying? That's why I got such a problem with bad customer service, whether it's at a title company or if you go into Popeyes and they tripping. It's just like, first of all, I'm a paying customer. And for me, you know what I mean? Like when people are paying me, when the sellers, I'm talking to the sellers, I'm not talking to them like they work for me. I'm not. I'm not talking to them
What's
like
up, CJ, man?
they owe me something. I'm talking to them like I'm at their service. Now, at the same time, I am providing value, so it's mutual respect. And we've learned long since sometimes you got to fire a seller, fire a client. You just not in my strike zone. You're not up my alley. I'm gonna let you go. But they're paying me, so by my principle, they work for me, so I'll be of service to them. And if they do something to make me mad, I can't just flat out cuss them out.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Who
You know what I'm saying?
CJ Victor, what's going
CJ,
on?
my guy, man. CJ, my guy. He behind the scenes. He be doing my videos for me, man, editing stuff. CJ, man, I think we didn't figure out something, man. We gonna get you to cut some of this stuff up.
Shout out to
Yeah, shout out to CJ, man. Shout out to CJ, man. We got to put him to work. But yeah, man. I mean, with these title companies, man, don't be scared of them. Attorneys, don't be scared of them. You know what I'm saying? You go in there, you do your thing. You know, so and that goes to anybody, the buyers too. You know, don't be scared of these buyers, man. You bringing value. You know, so you got to be willing to talk to people and stand on what you do, man. You know, and that's like to me, that's servicing people, whether it's the buyer or the seller. Not that I'm just gonna go trying to run over everybody,
right.
but you know, you're gonna treat me decently. I'm gonna service you and try my best to get you what you need, and you know, that kind of deal, man. So
Yeah, and also this is, I guess, this is another more principle for life and not just for the business, but it does help. It's just like it, I can only say, hey, I can only draw the line in the sand and say, hey, man, you're not gonna treat me like this. You're not gonna talk down on me or treat me like less. If I also share that same view to other people, like I can't be talking, hey, Byron, bro, shut up, Byron. Do this. Send me some more leads and be, you know what I'm
yes,
saying?
sir.
And then go to somebody else. Talk to me like that. Like when I was young, I was confused about life. But the more you got to have some level of self-respect and treat everybody with integrity is the highest thing in this business. That's why we talk about get the buyer first and then tell the seller, I work with a network of investors who are purchasing property in your area, and you are. Don't just put people under contract and hope and wish and prayer, because this is people's life.
Yeah, for sure.
Like this is the most money that they will ever see or touch or get rid of, and this could be the biggest problem in their life. They about to get foreclosed on. Their real family is going to be out in the streets, and you just like, man, I guess I could do 200. I put you on a contract for 200, and the house, the zestimate is 175, and you playing with these people.
Exactly. They making plans off you.
Exactly. They banking on you to have integrity. So you must have integrity at all times, and it will come back to you 100-fold. But then also when people are operating and they don't have integrity and they don't work with respect, you can say, nah, I'm not going to go for that. Like we had a property where the real estate agent just didn't, she kept bringing investors and buyers. And it seemed like she didn't respect our wishes. You know, the work we was putting in and the value we was providing. Anytime Byron would give her some sort of request or I needed to be done like this, it never got done like that. And it almost
it's like
she was bringing people intentionally.
Like exactly. You throwing it out. You basically saying, man, hey, we doing whatever we want to do.
Yeah. Either, if somebody makes a mistake like that on that level, either they are intentionally doing it or they're unintentionally doing it, but it's more careless in the way that they're acting. You know what I mean? And so with people like that, you can kind of draw the line in the sand and say, hey, I've been 100%, with my integrity and my respect and the value that I'm looking to provide to you. We only try to put money in your pocket. We didn't come to you and say, hey, man, we want to pay you the least amount of money possible. And we want to rob your buyers and we want to rob this seller. No, we're trying to get everybody, but you seem to not consider us as important. And so, Byron, what happened with that with that agent? Did you work with her again, or what? How did it work out?
Dude, you already know, man. I ain't, I wasn't gonna mess up no more, man.
Byron
Dude,
came through, Mister
I was
Big.
almost done in the middle of the deal, to be honest with you. But I was like, nah, let's go and get this deal done, man, and then hey, we'll handle that down the line. But I knew I had a lot more properties coming, and that's the thing, man. It's like if you're gonna do somebody shady, do somebody bad, do bad business, then it's hard for you to continue to do business, at least with good people. You know what I'm saying? So if you do good business with good people, then you would keep doing good business with good people. You know what I'm saying? That's why I talk about like dealing with buyers. Like those buyers are gonna, one buyer can make you 100 grand. You know what I'm saying, in a year, and they can make you 100 grand every year moving forward. You know what I'm saying? And if they're a good person doing good business, they're likely to stay in business. Because good people that's doing good business continue to meet other good people that's doing good business, and good people that's doing good business usually stay in business for a long time. So, um, that's why it's so important, man. It's so important to be a good person out here while you're doing this business, man. Like I said, stand on integrity, stand on what you believe. Obviously, I believe in Jesus Christ, the Bible, following what it says, and how to treat people, and how to move. Doing that's the number one thing for me. You know what I'm saying? Like sellers ask me questions about, are y'all gonna do this to me? Are y'all gonna do that to me? It's like, dude, the number one thing is making sure I'm treating people the right way. You know what I'm saying? Not just being a bad person, not just, not treating people right. Like that's the number one thing for me, you know. And then the other chips gonna fall where they may. That's why people ask me, do you feel bad when you make $100,000 on a deal? No, because I'm just treating people right. I'm gonna go through my process, gonna treat people the right way. I'm gonna go do by them same way I do when I make $100. Same thing that I do when I make 100 grand. You know what I'm saying? I don't go and do nothing crazy, nothing special. I don't go hit the seller upside the head and make them, do something crazy. Nah, dude. It's the same processes. Treat them the same way. I
Yeah.
treat the person, if I'm gonna make 50K, I don't treat that seller, way better. And then if I'm gonna make $50, I treat the seller like trash. No.
Oh, dude. I know for a fact that's true because I made $300 on one, and I treated that person, you know, just the same, if not better, because he required
Yeah.
more that particular seller. Like
That's usually how it is.
I
It's
drove,
like you
yeah,
spend more time on the deals you don't make money on. You spend more time. You treat the seller better. You bend over backwards more. You know.
just to make sure he was straight. Drove
Hey,
hours on a Sunday afternoon just for him, just to check on him, because you know what I'm saying. And so, 100%, um, we operate with that integrity. But when people ask that question, do you feel bad? It's just like, do you feel any type of way from the consumer's point of view when you go to McDonald's and spend $5 on a burger that cost them 50 cents to make? No, because that's business and they providing you with value. Because you ain't
exactly.
have time to go get the burger and season it and get the buns and all that from Walmart. You had to pick up something quick for the kids tonight after
Yeah,
the
and
because y'all
that's
have the soccer game tonight. So you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Context is important and the
and that's
value.
what you agreed to as well.
You agree
It's
to
like
that
you look, or you heard them say this is what it is, and you agreed. You're like,
because
okay. You're
because
like, okay, I'm gonna move forward. You know what I'm saying?
and not only that, it's just like you're gonna come back for more because money is just a representation of the value that you provide.
No doubt.
Understand it. That's why if you at, and I'm not, this is no diss because I done been, I know for a fact I done been low, and high, you know what I'm saying? I'd have been at all ranges of the spectrum. Um, if you are making a low, like if you making just $10 an hour, the value providing is $10 an hour's worth. That could easy you got an easily replaceable position. Just about anybody can do it. You didn't have to think about anything. You didn't have to come up with the hardness. All you had to do was show up and do that. My first job was washing. Well, My first job was delivering wood, delivering firewood, in the snow in the hills of Tennessee. By the way, I was making
Sheesh.
$5 an hour because I was only 14. I might have been 12. I might have been
Hey,
12 at the no, I was 12 years
12 year
old and I
old
was
phenom,
making $5 an
super.
hour.
Hey, he could have played smart guy, dude. He could have been smart guy.
Nah, dude, it wasn't nothing like that. I quit after 3 weeks. It was too cold doing that. But that was technically my first job because I didn't have to call around clients to figure out, hey, do you need I wasn't drumming up business. All I was doing was picking up the wood from here and moving it there. That was $5 worth of value. Likewise, the more you go, when I started working at Verizon Wireless, I was making X amount of dollars, way more money than $5 hour Cordero because I was doing something that the $5 hour Cordero at 12 years old couldn't do. So the more value you provide, and this could be judged on what it does for others or how easily replaceable it is. That's kind of a scale because how many people got the resources, the investors, the cash to buy the properties that Byron buys? That's actually rare. And if we look at it on a whole, when we look back at all the real estate, the single family real estate or the residential real estate transactions, the bulk of them are not cash. It's a small percentage of homes that are being bought cash as is. The majority of them are being bought, uh, and I don't know what percentage, maybe like 90% or 70 to 90% are being bought with the mortgage. And that's going to come with financing contingencies. That's going to come with you having to fix it up, get it prepared, and wait a long time uh, to be able to even close on your property. So you can get that dollar amount that you're looking for. So when we come in, not a lot of people can bring that value to the seller. That we
Yeah.
can say that not a lot of, they're not, when they say I'm getting offers from here and there, it's literally like only in any given market, it's the same couple of people, and it's probably like open doors, so on and so forth. But if you come with the best cash offer, that's very rare. So therefore, it's very valuable to that person, especially in a tough spot and they need to close quickly. You're doing service, so it's not like, oh, you just robbed that person. That's always taken out of context. It's like
Yeah.
that's assuming that every person has a market ready house that was just built this year and it was worth $400,000, and I got it for 150 because I lied. Stop.
Yeah.
No,
Stop.
that's not the case. Now, house not worth $400,000. It's probably worth 225. We got it for 150 because we was able to meet a happy medium, and they
Yep.
needed to close quickly. So there's so
Absolutely.
much context to that.
Yep. So the CEO said, "Can you both say counties y'all both in so
No,
I can
no,
save
no,
it?"
no. Let's not tell them nothing. Secrets.
It's like, dude, I'm almost in dang near every county in Georgia. So you find anything in Georgia, send it to me.
That's a deal.
And then Middle Tennessee. Middle Tennessee is where Cordero is. Middle Tennessee. So
Top to
you take
bottom.
Tennessee from
Yeah,
top to bottom. You go from Nashville, and you can go at least one or two counties out, and then
I would say about one or two
one county
counties.
out for sure.
Yeah,
One county out for sure, and go up and down.
yeah.
Middle
Pretty much
Tennessee.
from Montgomery County, the CEO, that's Clarksville, Montgomery County, and I think Sumner County is right next to it, and then all the way down to Chattanooga, which is Murray County, I believe, and anything in between. We definitely look at, and we do have investors who are interested in that. So definitely check that out. So
Yeah, for
obviously
sure.
Davidson, Bedford, Coffee County, Rutherford County, again Sumner County,
Williamson County.
Williamson County, all of that. You know what I'm saying? Columbia, which is, I think that's Williamson. Yeah. What? Yeah.
You
No.
said something.
Yeah, I said Sumner.
You said Bed-Stuy.
Bedford County, yes sir. So yeah, all in through there, but really any place in Georgia at this point, I mean,
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure, for sure.
it is what it
So,
is.
but shoot, man, we've been on this thing about an hour and 10 minutes, man. We got on this thing late, but we had to get it in for y'all for sure. But shoot, man, appreciate y'all coming through. The CEO, my guy CJ, my guy
Yo,
Cass came through, Bobby Mack came through. What up, man? Appreciate y'all coming through. And all my people in IG, we had Keithon, the Godfather, came through. Hold on. Billy Gomez says, fam, we can make 100 racks. However, if you dealing with clowns, you always lose. Yeah, you right about that, dude. You can make a lot of money, but if you dealing with some clowns, man, you're gonna end up losing.
Very true.
Um,
Well said.
yeah, no doubt, man. So appreciate you coming through, Billy Gomez, man. My guy Gandy Golden came through, man. Gandy Golden, man, I coached this guy when he was in high school, man. The joker went to the league. But shoot, man, he
So you
doing good
saying
stuff,
you're
man.
responsible for that? You
I,
saying
I
you're
take
responsible for
I
that?
take
They
100% responsibility.
shout out
No,
to
dude,
God.
this dude a beast, man. I probably was a negative. They do plus minuses. You
Detractor.
know, my impact was probably negative. You know what I'm saying? Man, I did tell him he had to earn his name, though. He definitely earned his name for sure.
Hey,
I
he
used to
taught
call
me
him
how to
green.
spread his hands
I
out,
used to call
spread
him
his
green
hands.
shirt. I used to call him green shirt because he was wearing a green shirt. Hey, you gotta earn your name right here, man. Man,
Yeah,
you just a green shirt, man. You got no name I gotta remember. Like, now,
crazy.
hey, now you got to remember this bug, man. This took a big time, dude.
Shout out.
Sure, I had my brother come through, man. Came through on IG. What's up, man? Let me see
And
who else we know that came through this month. That's about it, man. But shoot, appreciate y'all coming through, man. We'll be at this thing tomorrow. Back at it for sure. And like Cordero was talking about earlier, man, if you're doing deals, want to jump in this mastermind, let's go get it. Other than that, man, appreciate y'all for coming through. Peace out.
shout out.